everyone, this video is brought to you by the Seventh Monk. This is Lecture 2 of Unit 1 Introduction of Class 11th Introductory Microeconomics. In the last lecture, I introduced you with economics by telling you the meaning of economics and micro and macroeconomics along with positive and normative economics, and then we did the meaning of economy. Now, here in this lecture, we will do the central problems of an economy, that is the problem of what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. After that, in the next lecture, we will do the concepts of production possibility frontier and opportunity cost in detail. From the last lecture, you know that human wants are unlimited and the resources that satisfy human wants are limited, and they have got alternative uses. So, we face scarcity of resources because the demand of resources is greater as compared to the resources that are available with us. So, we have to choose among the various alternative uses of the resources that are available before us. Because resources are limited, so we cannot fulfill all our wants. We have to choose wisely that which want is important and which will lead to the maximum satisfaction of our wants. Then accordingly we have to choose. That's why it is also called problem of choice, right? The scarcity of resources leads to problem of choice, which is called economic problem for an individual and the central problem of an economy for the entire nation. And in order to solve this economic problem, we have to economize our resources. Economizing the resources means making the best possible use of the available resources. And economics is a management science that teaches us the way of efficiently using our resources that are available with us. Alright, so now I think it is clear to you that the central problem of an economy that your syllabus is telling you to learn is nothing but the problem of scarcity of resources at the level of the entire nation. Alright, now let's understand the central problem of an economy in more detail. Okay, this central problem of an economy is arising due to limited resources, due to scarcity of resources, right? It can be seen in various ways in the form of problem of allocation of resources, problem of efficient and fuller utilization of resources, problem of growth of resources, and the problem of economic growth, right? The first one, that is problem of allocation of resources, is a subject matter of microeconomics, and the rest three are the subject matter of macroeconomics. So the first one, that is problem of allocation of resources, is the major focus of this chapter. Here you will learn that due to scarcity of resources, how we face the problem of distribution of resources, how we decide that how do we have to distribute the resources in the most efficient way. This problem of allocation of resources can be further studied in three parts. That is in the form of problem of what to produce and in what quantity, problem of how to produce, and the problem of for whom to produce. So if a question asks you to explain the problem of allocation of resources, then please mention all these three problems, that is problem of what to produce, problem of how to produce, and the problem of for whom to produce. Now let's see in detail what these problems actually are. Alright, you all know that the root cause behind all these problems is the scarcity of resources. Alright, so this problem, that is the problem of what to produce and what quantity, is also the problem of distribution of resources. It is studied under microeconomics because it is a subject matter of the problem of allocation of resources, which itself is a matter of microeconomics. Since the resources that an economy have are limited, so it has to decide what commodities are to be produced and in what quantities. In view of limited resources, when we produce more of a commodity, it means we will be able to produce less of another, because more production of one commodity would force us to withdraw resources from the production of other commodity. So the economy has to choose between consumption goods and capital goods, between civil goods and military goods, and also between necessity of life and luxury goods. All right. Here, the guiding principle for an economy is to allocate resources in such a way that gives maximum aggregate utility to the society. So the way in which the resources could make most of the people satisfied should is the best way for allocating these scarce resources, right, in the economy. All right. So if you are asked with the question of what to produce, then please mention each and everything. First, mention its meaning. What do you understand? And the cause behind it, that is the scarcity of resources. And after that, the examples that you have for it, right? That if you will produce more of capital goods, then you have to produce less of consumption good, and the other examples too. And then please don't forget to mention the guiding principle for solving this problem. All right. Now moving further, the next important problem under the problem of allocation of resources is the problem for how to produce, right? It is also the subject matter of microeconomics, and this decision on allocation of resources is related to the technique of production to be employed while producing goods and services. Goods and services can be produced by two techniques. The first one is labor intensive technique, right, which uses more of labor, and second is capital intensive technique, which uses more of machines, that is capital. Every method of production has its own advantage and disadvantage, right? So an economy like India, where labor are very cheap and machines are very costly, so for us labor intensive technique is favorable. And for an economy like America, where machines are very cheap and the labor are comparatively costly, they have to use capital intensive technique. So here the guiding light is that the economy should decide it on the basis of cost of production. So whichever technique is cheap, they should go with that. Those techniques of production should be used which lead to least possible cost per unit of commodity or service. All right. So for India, that technique will be favorable, which will lead to the least possible cost of production. So for now, labor are cheap, so labor intensive technique is favorable. But in future, if capital will become more cheap as compared to labor, then capital intensive technique will prevail, right? Because the cost of production will be less in capital intensive technique. All right. Here also, if this question is asked, mention its meaning and the two techniques, right, and then please mention the guiding principle along with the examples. Over here I gave you the example of America and India, right? After that we have the problem for whom to produce. Okay, it is also the subject matter of microeconomics. In economy, you all know that goods and services are produced for consumption of its citizen, okay, and the consumer of these produced goods may be economically poor or rich. Goods and services are produced for people who can purchase them, and purchasing power mainly depends upon distribution of income. So this is a problem of distribution, as the whole output is distributed among factors of production who have contributed to it. Since production is a combined effort of all the four factors of production, that is land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, so it is distributed among them in the form of money income, that is rent, wages, interest and profit. In a capitalist economy, the decision regarding for whom to produce is taken on the basis of purchasing power of the people, but in a socialist economy, the decision is taken on the basis of requirement of the individual. But the economy must see here the important and urgent wants of citizens should be satisfied for the maximum possible extent. Alright, here also if this question is asked, then explain it in your own words, and after that you should explain the causes behind it, right? The causes are that people don't earn the same income, they earn different income according to their contribution in the process of production. So why the problem for whom to produce is dealing with the distribution the distribution of the product and also the distribution of the income in the whole society. All right. And then don't forget to mention the guiding principle and also the examples which I gave you in context of socialist economy and capitalist economy, what they take into concern while solving the problem for whom to produce. All right. Then further, we have got various other problems under the central problem of an economy. The first problem I think is clear to you. That is a problem of allocation of resources. Allocation means distribution. So now you know that how do we allocate the resources, right? And what are these problems? You know that the problem of allocation of resources further contain the problem of what to produce and in what quantity, the problem of how to produce, and the problem for whom to produce, okay, and what they are dealing with, what are their guiding principles. Now we have some other central problem of an economy too that are not discussed in your syllabus, but I want to discuss them with you so that you can have a better grasp over all the concepts. The next important problem is a problem of efficient and fuller utilization of resources. It is a subject matter of macroeconomics. So you know that there should not be any wastage as resources are already very scarce, right? So we should use them fully. And in order to get maximum production, all the available resources need to be fully utilized. Underemployment or unemployment of resources means wastage of resources. If we do not use our resources fully, there will always be unemployment or underemployment in the economy. That means wastage of resources. So developed countries use their resources fully as well as efficiently, whereas underdeveloped countries does not. That is a point where they lag behind. So in order to make our country developed, we have to use our resources in full and efficient way. We have to cut down the wastage of resources, right? Then and only our country can develop, right? The next important problem that is studied under macroeconomics is the problem of growth of resources, right? Since resources are scarce and exhaust gradually on being used, therefore growth of resources to make up their deficiency has become another basic problem of an economy. Countries like USA, Canada, Russia, Japan have become rich because of growth of their resources, whereas countries like India, Pakistan and other underdeveloped countries have remained poor because of poor growth of their resources. So it has become the most essential for the underdeveloped countries to not only make full use of their resources, but also to increase their production capacities by growing them so as to meet ever rising demand of its people for goods and services. Discovery of resources and advanced technology helps us in the growth of resources. Example, Baba Ramdev's Patanjali product had discovered new resources, right, that were earlier there in ancient India, but in the middle period they were distorted, but now he is trying to revive that knowledge of Ayurveda back. So he is helping in the growth of resources, right, because he is using the herbs of the forest in order to satisfy the demand of the people, right? Further, the next problem that we have is a problem of economic growth. It is studied under macroeconomics and it aims at rapid economic growth so as to raise the living standard of its citizens. For this, the rate of economic growth needs to be kept higher than the rate of growth of population. Thus, an economy has to decide about the rate of investment and savings. It has to also decide about the technique of production. This problem has special relevance with the backward and underdeveloped countries of the world, which are in the grip of acute poverty and unemployment. For developing countries, we call economic growth as economic development, and economic development includes social welfare and the component of economic growth. In our country, production is less, but the population is more. That's why other countries find India a lucrative market for sale of their product and hence tries to make good relations with India, right? So I hope that all the central problems of an economy are clear to you. See, the last three that I discussed with you are not at all important from exam perspective. I just told you so that you can have a good grasp of all the economic concepts, right? From the exam perspective, only the problem of allocation of resources is important, in which the problem of what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce are of extreme relevance from exam perspective, right? So please do all these concepts in detail. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you have any confusion regarding it, then please comment down below. And if you want to share your thoughts, then too you can comment down below. Please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.